Disgusting, pathetic, embarrassing, poetic justice. Justice has been served, according to Yankees fans. All these words and all these phrases can be summed up pretty much with the 2025 New York Mets. This season was one of the worst seasons I have ever endured as a lifetime Mets fan. Didn't enjoy watching every game, and I watched a lot of games. Aside from the West Coast series, late at night, the late starts, the Dodgers 9:45 starts, being up at 5 a.m., that was not feasible for me to stay awake and watch those games. So I would wake up in the morning and check, and during those first 2 months of baseball, I was excited. I remember I missed the entire game of when Juan Soto finally starting to hit. Finally starting to feel like a member of the New York Mets. He started to feel like an amazing. He started feeling like a Met. You see him bottle flipping with Luis Angel Acuna Jr., Starling Marte, Alvarez, Jose Siri. You could tell he was starting to get acclimated with his clubhouse teammates, and he was starting to feel good. You had Luis Angel Acuna dressing up as a catcher. The Mets are just dominating the Dodgers in L.A., and all was right with the world. We were like, all right, let's go. This is what Cohen was talking about. Sustained success, changing the negative perception that us Mets fans still to this day have on the team. And we thought we were rolling. Best team in baseball, best record, winners of the first 20 of 30. We were rolling, sweeping the Phillies and then sweeping them again later in the year. We were rolling, beating good teams. The inconsistency is why we are no longer playing in the playoffs this year, and it sucks. And this hat's on because it's spring training time or MLB offseason for the New York Mets, as the season has fallen short of high expectations nonetheless entering this year. But David Stearns did speak today. Steve Cohen, the owner, did lay out a tweet saying, "You deserve better fans. You supported us all year long." When I tell you, I watched more games this year than I did last year. And last year, the years are basically in reverse. Started off slow last year, hottest team in baseball for 4 months the rest of the way, and into the playoffs. Started off hot again this year, crashed and burned and collapsed, and just everything you could think of went wrong. Whether the players we have don't gel together, whether it's the wrong voice in the clubhouse, I still want Carlos Beltran to have a shot at being manager. I'd say if the Mets start off slow in May to a rough start, I looked at their schedule today. It's not easy to begin. We play a lot of West Coast games in before July. If we don't start off good, yank them, Beltran in, because you really can't make a Beltran a bench coach, because that would just be lurking over Mendoza's back, and how can you perform your job to a high level when that's going on? But David Stearns did speak. I'll wrap this video up now. Stearns did speak to the media for about 30 minutes or so. His main goal is run prevention. He stressed that a couple of times, how he feels like the fielding could have been a lot better. We were poor in the field. A lot of errors that we weren't used to making in the previous season. He wants run prevention held down to a key. He mentioned something about being top 5 in ERA for his first 2 months of the year. Finished 27th, I believe. So not good. He's definitely disappointed. He's frustrated. He did turn down any rumors of Mendoza potentially being fired. He says Carlos Mendoza will be back, and I kind of figured he would be. He says, if he had a crystal ball, hindsight's always 2020. Obviously, if I knew the moves I made at the deadline weren't going to pan out, I would have went in a different direction, and obviously everyone would. And throughout all walks of life, whatever you got going, if you could do things over again, obviously you could, knowing what you know now. But other than that, he says he's going to, take some time, do a self-reflection in the mirror. Mendoza said that as well. Cohen expressed his disappointment, and he understands why we were so frustrated, and they want to make it right. And the good thing, being a Mets fan, the one thing, this is going to be an interesting fucking offseason, because when Steve Cohen's mad, he acts, I would say, a little irrational, going crazy in kind of a good and exciting way. Clearly, you can't buy World Series titles. I mean, you can keep trying. Eventually, you'll be the Dodgers, and you'll squeeze one in when you probably should have won 10. But it is what it is right now. We got to sit and take it and watch our bitter rival, the Phillies, just Red October. Yay. Fucking A, man. That stupid song they're going to play again. Ugh, horrible. Horrible year as the Mets. I'll make updates anytime any benching coach gets fired. Hopefully Chavez is gone. Hefner, he'll probably be back, but maybe they'll add another guy. I would love to bring Willie Randolph back in the mix. He has played here. He has coached here. As a bench coach, that would be great. Possibly even bringing in J.D. Martinez as a hitting coach. The players seem to really like talking to him and seek his advice several times throughout last year's postseason playoff run. But there you have it. The Mets recap as a whole, not a great year. Individually, you would think that we would be a playoff team. The numbers Soto put up, the numbers Alonso put up, Lindor, another 30 home run year. They all started off slow, but Pete Alonso, for the most part, was the only guy that came through with runners in scoring position. And that is why he was top 6 or whatever, top 5 in RBIs. So we have the talent. Got to definitely keep Pete back. Got to bring Diaz back. And we just got to get better overall. He also talked about the rookie pitchers, McLean, Jonathan, and Sproat. He believes they will all have roles next year moving forward. Noel McLean, obviously, he will be there. Jonathan, he didn't really mention, but probably a little bit more time in AAA. He needs it. The kid looks like he's 10 years old. You can't have him give up 5 runs and start crying on the mound. But that's it. The Mets, David Stearns speaks. You can see that interview on YouTube and NewYorkMets.com. It's rough. Another year in the books for the Mets, and just still seeking that World Series championship that I've been trying to witness for so long. Hopefully one day it comes. That's all I got for you guys. Any updates, I will be on here to break it. Follow me still throughout the postseason. I'll still talk baseball. Obviously, a lot of Mets things will probably pop up too. But as always, let's go Mets.